is the game we're talking about, and the Eastern region is the one that we will be viewing first. Dupont High School versus Flangler-Palm. And Jordy, this is going to be, I think, the first time we've seen Super Smash Brothers on the stream.
It is the first time we've seen it. We got some Ultimate, James. We've been talking about it off stream. We are excited for this one. And Dupont, Flagler, both of them have excellent records, of course. And I believe the format is a crew, I'm not going to say straight crew battle format, but it is much like the Hearthstone format we had, where 3 players are going to be playing on each team. So you'll see each of them go up against each other.
Kind of like the Hearthstone.
Yeah, exactly. So,
well, Jordy, we've got to look at the records. Now we are going to make the predictions. Who do you have in this matchup?
All right, look, give me Flagler-Palm. I think they got it in the bag. Throw that up on that lower third. That's right. Thank you, Blasky. What about you, James?
Well, I think we'll stick with the adversary picks. I'm going to go with Dupont. I'm excited.
No caster cursing on this desk.
We're giving everybody an equal chance to win here, at least with the predictions. So we've got the picks, but now it's time to watch the match. So we're going to send it on over to the casters to cover the action.
All right. Thank you so much once again to Jamesboy and Jordy. It is very nice seeing your faces once again. And listen, Jordy, you had all the confidence in the world saying that Flagler would be taking out this tournament, and we have some stats to share out for you. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome on into the desk. My name is Upmind, joined here by the one, the only Viewtiful Crow. Because, guys, we are ready and raring to go for what is the core of play versus action, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. And again, talking about this matchup coming up, it is going to be Flagler. But just to help you guys out, Flagler at the very end here, when they do have that anchor in their lineup, that man has been undefeated in play versus play. You can't exactly say the same about the boys over at the Crimson Carried Dupont Manual. But Viewtiful Crow, listen, you kind of take me into your little analytical brain, little mind in there. Kind of tell me, what do you think?
This is going to be so dope. This is going to be so dope. I mean, 24 teams all the way down to these last 2. It's just Crimson Carried, man. Look, we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. They're doing really well. As we are actually, we're just gonna jump straight into it. We're straight into game number 1.
Yo, you gotta
get right onto it. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is. Hey, we are trying to see if this is even the game at this point. It should be warm up because listen, it should be warm up because Kirby.
Okay.
We just haven't seen Kirby, period, from either one of these teams. And Kirby being pulled out as a counter pick in grand finals. I mean, folks, if anybody has ever played Smash in their life, I played Kirby. I played Kirby so much in Melee. I played Kirby in Smash 4. But there's, I mean, even a little bit in Ultimate for fun. But listen, he's just a cute little puffball. He can only do so much.
Hey, no. You cannot sleep on the Kirby. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've been to some locals where we've had top 8 Kirby finishes, and it's actually quite scary.
Did they win though? They can only do so much. Dang it.
They can only do so much. Yeah. I mean, hey, it could be the sleeper counter pick, but no, like really looking at it, especially on this Crimson Carried lineup, right? Like Dante, if he's rocking this Luigi,
right?
I mean, he's been pretty consistent with it all year long, and also in this playoff. So would not be too disappointed to see him just be like, all right, let's just go and throw it out. I mean, Luigi's one of my favorite characters in Smash to play because of how much versatility he provides in general.
Right.
Plunger Demon, absolutely 100% 80 all the time. But looking at FBC, like Flagler-Palm Coast, they're actually kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie.
That's why Jordy, he came up, chest out. You saw the confidence emanating. From that man. The electricity out from that man whenever he said that Flagler was going to win this one. Because listen, I believe it too. Again, at the very end, in terms of their anchor, their quote-unquote anchor, he could be coming out at any point. David, he has a little bit of an unorthodox character lineup. He mostly plays Bowser Jr. Now, if people have been catching up with the recent Super Smash Brothers competitive play, we've been seeing a little bit of that resurgence of Bowser Jr.
Yeah.
It's been taken. It's a pretty raw character. It's a relatively honest character, but it has a couple pieces of utility in terms of just literally projectiles that they honestly they catch up a lot. They are able to kind of manipulate space a little bit and manipulate that neutral. You can also play a little bit of that getaway type of play style. So again, can't exactly blame that Bowser Jr. being that 100% win rate, but he also has a Rob in his pocket that he has also maintained a 100% win rate. So in terms of just pure Super Smash Brothers play, you already have a player in terms of David that is just there to fundamentally drag this team in really no matter what situation they're in.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the whole thing, right? When we talk about, you know, the Scholastic level Smash, most of it's played online, most of it's played online rather than in person, but like you see any Rob player in general, you're on my list. I'm not gonna lie, you are on my list. But he's a powerhouse in person, but online Rob is just like so ridiculous to play up against. But the thing is, Crimson carried. I think that Dupont Manuel can fight up against this, right? This is the most interesting thing about it. Both Henry and Thurston piloting the Banjo-Kazooie to a very high win rate for both of them. And Banjo,
it's just crazy that we have two of them on the same team.
Two of them on the same team, right? And that's the thing, right? So it's like both of them have plus 60% win rate, 100% on Thurston, 80% on Henry, and you're just like, oh wow, that's actually terrifying, because not that many people know how to play against the Banjo and Kazooie. I mean, it's not necessarily a super rare secret locked away pick, but
if you're playing a Sorty, then I guess it's just easy for you to manipulate purely because you're just swinging, you're just doing that the whole time. And Banjo and Kazooie, they do have some pretty disjointed hitboxes, and at some point when you do this, it's gonna hit, right? At some point.
At some point.
But in all reality, we're not looking at those types of matchups here in the hands of FPC. Yes, we do have a Byleth, but it is a heavy pocket in the hands of Albert. We have Sora, and that is... yeah, he has a Keyblade, but it's not exactly considered like a traditional Sorty, or at least in terms of the mid-air options. But still, at the end of the day, Crimson carried. They do have a couple of those strengths, like you mentioned with the Banjo and Kazooie, but also Thurston. Thurston is coming in with a Game & Watch pick.
Very divisive pick there.
Divisive. I laugh so I don't cry. Is simply is what I'm doing here, because yes, Game & Watch is just that sort of kind of that spur in the wrench. It's a little bit more of that. If you understand Super Smash Brothers, if you understand your opponent, Game & Watch feels so easy to play. It feels like a plug-and play whenever you're just looking at your core 3 or 4 favorite characters to play in the game. You could easily slot in Game & Watch right there, because again, it's a relatively easy character for you to not only pick up, for you to kind of master. So them having a solid Game & Watch at the very end, that just gives them kind of that automatic, you know, that at least an iron anchor type comparison to David on the other side, who again has that 100% win rate. But as we look over to the other side of Crimson carried, again, like you mentioned, the Luigi, it's not exactly super like out of this realm for someone to pick Luigi. It's just that, first of all, I just see this trend. Whoever picks Luigi, they pick Luigi for life. They do not give up that character by any means. And you can kind of see it in the fact that we have an 86% win rate with Luigi under the belt of Dante.
That's insane. I mean,
and he only plays Luigi.
Only plays Luigi. Solo Luigi. One of the things that's really making me root for this Crimson carried is Dupont Manuel High School squad is the fact that they're coming in as the underdogs, basically, right? 20th seed in the entirety of the playoffs. But the thing is, everyone they've taken out has been significantly higher seed. Like in semifinals, we just saw them get the 3-1 over DCC Varsity, right? They were seeded 8. You see them in quarters in a round 3 match 2. They took out Smashers in Swampscott High School. They were the 5th ranked seed. Like, and then in round 2 they took out Massachusetts rather. And it's just like they keep punching up, and now here in the finals against FPC, against this Flangler-Palm Coast, like they're poised to do it again, right? And that's one of these things that's really making me root for this lineup, along with the fact that the picks that they are playing are just like it's crazy enough for it to work, right?
Right.
Like, it's gonna be so dope.
Right, and I mean, you could kind of say more or less the same for Flagler. It's just the fact that Flagler, they already came into this with the 6th seed, and at a certain point, you kind of need to just throw seeding out the window for these types of tournaments, because at the end of the day, it is fighting games. It is about the individual, and yes, you can have the sum of your parts. You could always, have that raw mentality in terms of, just the crew battle, in terms of just, encouraging your teammates to do better. And of course, the work outside of the actual play itself, whenever people are practicing, whenever people are looking at film, that's really where that team aspect comes in. However, when we're just looking at the tournaments themselves, it still just comes down to that individual, and it really just depends on that day to day, who really wants to step up, who really is ready for either their individual matchup or who is ready simply to take the most advantage of their characters. And that's something that we can say for Flagler, because they made it through this tournament clean at a 6th seed. They still did have to face the 3rd seed, and they 3-0'd them clean. So Flagler, they've already proven themselves that, yes, just because they're in grand finals, that means that they already have a top 2 finish, right? But they have already proven themselves to be a top 3 caliber team in terms of that high school scene.
Man, this is gonna be dope.
It is.
So excited. I'm so excited to get into it. We're almost there. Just a few more before we can get down to the nitty gritty, down to the business in this wonderful finals here. Play versus Upmind, man. The stories are there. We got the backgrounds.
They are there.
We have the rosters locked.
Listen,
what else there to say?
The unfortunate thing, and we dealt with this with Valorant yesterday. For those who are watching, listen, we're dealing with electronics. We're dealing with technology. Things are simply gonna happen, right? Things are gonna break. Things are gonna do a little explodey thing, right? Rob isn't gonna be working all the time, man. There's a reason why it was discontinued, okay? Like for a very good reason, ladies and gentlemen. We need to move on here to a break. We are going to have to wait a little bit for some technical difficulties, but please do not go away. This is only the beginning of our Super Smash Brothers portion of the show. The East region is right now. We still have a full best of 5 crew battle for the West region coming up right after that. It's going to be a jam-packed 2 to 3 hours. Stay tuned, folks. That is enough waiting for y'all, okay? Enough. We had 20 seconds left of the clock. Strike that out, even though, of course, we've had a little bit more time to wait here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back in. We have, Kirby time. I got a Togepi right here. Why not? But ladies and gentlemen, we are... I just dropped the bat. But hey, we are ready and raring to go because, ladies and gentlemen, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, along with the East and West region, is about to kick off. And listen, we've been talking a whole lot about this East region, but we just have the action to show you guys in just a couple seconds. Listen, we already got the desk for some quick predictions. Crow, what do you think?
Look, I still think that it's Crimson Carried Squad, man. Like, I gotta go with it. I gotta stick with them. It's just, the lineup is too crazy for me not to enjoy this combat, and we're going straight into the game. Finally, we are here.
You go for Crimson Carried. I'll be... I guess I could just have to be the contrarian. I don't have as much confidence as Jordy, but hey, listen, I gotta go for Flagler. If we do deal with that iron anchor in just a little bit, my goodness, we should be having a little bit of a whack here from Flagler. All I want to see is David by the very end of things. But here in our hands, we are looking. I mean, no, this is David. Excuse me now. David is on.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. David is already on our screen. So instead of David potentially being an anchor for this team, just to kind of secure the win, instead, we're looking at David at the very beginning, alongside, of course, one of the 2 Banjo and Kazooies. It should be Thurston, but we'll get that confirmation in a little bit.
It's going to be Henry on Banjo. So, yeah, we have Henry on Banjo and David and Bowser Jr. starting things off. They're at each other's necks, and I just love how literal just up in each other's grill they have been so far. 85 to 112, not the stock taken just yet, but the jab combo is going to launch pretty far, but I believe, Henry's going to spin a Wonder Wing to get back safely.
Still fine for now. Striking back, Wonder Wing coming in. Okay, it's just a stall at this point. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. This is two characters who, again, you wouldn't expect to have such control of range, to have such control in terms of the projectile play, but they're both kind of acting on it. Instead, now, though, the Bowser Jr. finally closes up the space and finally picks up the first stock.
Yep. First stock going to go the way for Flangler-Palm. Oh, looks like you're going to go and get the second one, too, as he starts the air juggle combo. Oh, my goodness. David is actually nasty, but finally that first stock does go the way for Henry. I mean, he didn't have to expect, you know, the 0 to death, losing that second stock automatically to put him in this position.
Nah, you love to see that. Love to see that immediately. It's an electric start already to our tournament. But listen, we still have, I say tournament, to our grand finals. This is only the very climax of our tournament. We had, I think it was a 32-team tournament. It might have been even more than that. But listen, it was a couple weeks of competition. At this point, though, Flagler alongside Dupont, we're looking at what is already a big start for the boys over on Flagler. Again, it isn't exactly unexpected. We knew for a fact that this Bowser Jr. had that potential, and there's no way this kills. On the edge, but listen, look at the gap, 103 versus 33 on the second stock. There's so much work that needs to be done.
Oh man, I thought the cannonball was going to trail and tag him there towards the end, but no. Henry will survive for a moment longer. Spinning Wonder Wing, I believe he has 3 left, trying to take this stock away. Now remember, the series is the best of 5, but each match is a BO3, so there are still opportunities to come back for this, as it does look like, yes, David's going to go ahead and finish off this first game. Pretty solid work all around. That first stock was very, very conscious back and forth, but after that, I mean, David kind of ran away with it.
A little bit, but that is exactly what we expected. David continues the streak. I think no, Togepi's still here. Well, listen, I turn my back to you because, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't believe me, this is how I feel. I feel disappointed in you. I can't even look you in the face right now. I told you that Flagler has that iron anchor in terms of David, and indeed that pops up immediately. 100% win rate continues here, especially on the Bowser Jr. that has been played throughout the very large majority of this run so far, even though he still has a perfect Rob in his pocket. But now we get to focus up on what is potentially the rest of our matchups here, because we still have a Banjo and Kazooie laying around. We still have the Game & Watch in that Banjo's pocket, or it's the other way around. But considering the win record, actually the Banjo has been doing most of the hitting. If anything, it has almost as many wins as the Game & Watch pick. But that's Thurston over for Crimson Carried. You also have Dante at the moment still on that Luigi. I expected the Luigi to just come out immediately, though. I didn't. I did, you know, in crew battles, you do kind of expect the player that has the most, like, you know, potential to come out, you know, at the very end just to kind of sweep things up. But with this sort of format, you are just kind of throwing a shot out in the dark and maybe hoping that, you know, you are kind of going tit for tat with the other team's best player. And I don't think that necessarily happened again. You can't deny a 100% win record in the hands of David, but I think Dante might need to do something about it already in the second game to kind of turn things around and make sure that that momentum doesn't go in FPC's way.
Well, I believe it does stick to Henry and David for now in this best of 3 set, yes. And
yeah, for that third, for that second set. But again, this is a best of 3. Yeah, so it's a best of 5 of best of 3s. We didn't really explain the format that much. It is not a traditional crew battle, and also kind of combobulated me for a second. But exactly that. We are looking at a best of 3. It's okay. It's okay. As like, look how relaxed Kirby is. Like, come on, everything's
he's chilling.
Okay.
He's chilling.
Everything's okay. Yeah, but yeah, again, we are going through stage selection right now for that second map, or for that second game. But again, just to establish that format again, we're looking at best of 5 of best of 3. So we're going to have, not randomly, the first 3 sets are going to be between whichever players are available on the lineup. And for the last 2 sets, it is whoever you choose. So at this point, again, is the lead right now for Flagler. Flagler on your left, Dupont on your right. Bowser Jr. already starting off. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Okay.
Going for that back here. But that was it. That was already it. That was the sweet spot.
That would have been it. Yeah. That literally forced Henry to have to do the up B there to get out of range for that finisher from David here. But he's already at 66. That's crazy that Bowser Jr. can KO from this point, right? Like, he can take a stock so easily from here. Just one combo is all they need. And now Henry has to fight back consecutively, like legit fight back to get into this.
It's not too deep of a gap, though. And, of course, you're still looking at the Wonder Wing in the hands of Banjo-Kazooie. It is always kind of that get-out-of-jail-free option, especially when it just comes to that damage. You're getting a free almost 30% just off of one input. However, we already have the Bowser Jr. Just so much pressure, and there you go. There is that Wonder Wing coming out, cutting things down by a little bit. But this is one thing that I just regretted to kind of mention here. It isn't just the projectile play that has made Bowser Jr. special. It is the fact that they have so many quick aerial options that they can chain, that they can go so saucy with. I mean, you can see how slick this Bowser Jr. looks right now.
Slick indeed, and it's just controlling so much of PS2 right now, being able to, you know, play the neutral, play the sides as well. Just projectiles, the duck bombs are just so great, and the little Bowser bombs are so great. And you have to predict the landing, right? That's the biggest thing that Henry has to be able to do. But the forward air actually will cleave and hit the great spot to take him off that top left black zone. So the first stock actually goes the way of Henry. I do like that. Will be equalized immediately, but that does establish a bit of tempo.
Oh, that is such a ridiculous combo. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Bowser Jr. gets a taste but can't exactly complete the whole bite. But you still have 63% getting taken out immediately.
That's actually insane. Oh man, already at 63. Much like the first stock in this exchange for game number 2 here from Flangler-Palm. It's just, David is just so good at, you know, getting those efficient combos off and putting Henry at that high percentage off rip to force Henry to play into the defensive version. And he's gonna get a, oh no, he's gonna get a second stock, just pure raw charge. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, but the smash attacks too for Bowser Jr. are so ridiculous.
So good.
They take up so much space. They cover they cover plenty of options, or at least the ones that you're looking for. Even the up smash is a little bit of a scoop, right? We always talk about the characters that are able to kind of just give you a little scoop, such as a Snake. But with this one, though, it is just brutal in the fact that the F smash, it covers up. It almost looks like a wall. You just can't surpass it. But we are still looking at this neutral battle here. We are still looking at 50% for Banjo and Kazooie, as it is a little bit tough here. We haven't gotten a lot of damage and a decent bit from the Bowser Jr., but it is mostly, I mean, it's actually some beautiful play right now. It is some beautiful patience coming out from the Bowser Jr.
Very much so, and like I said, like it's that control. It's that ability that Henry has to control the center stage. Oh no! He whiffed the combo! Oh, that actually would have been so good for Henry. Been there, done that for sure. But
yeah,
just,
but did
like
he need it?
Yeah, he definitely need it. Okay,
We'll
there
see.
it is.
We'll see. 131 right now. Still a lot more work to do, but my goodness. Escapes the pod, bangs in the hammer, and just like that, Flangler-Palm takes away the first game.
I genuinely was opening my water and just like at the same time that forward air came out, and I just did not expect it to just straight up take him to the blast zone like that. I did not expect that stock to be taken like that. Hey, that's Bowser Jr. for you, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, Bowser Jr. is a low-key heavy hitter. Again, that kind of archetype early on in the game was put on a character like Yoshi more than anything. But no, Bowser Jr. We also have another pretty strong little dinosaur. Is Bowser considered a dinosaur? Is that no? It's a dragon. That's the thing.
He's a dragon.
He's a dragon. Yeah, but yeah, let's look at the replays real quick, right? Ignore the fact that I don't know basic Nintendo lore, okay? Hey, my bad. But listen.
He's a Koopa.
He is a Koopa. That's, yeah, no, right. That's the whole bit. But again, this is just the examples that you kind of, it was consistent throughout the whole game. We didn't really have that back and forth that we really wanted to kind of bite on in terms of that information between Henry and David here. But you can see still a couple of those instances of being able to cook up in terms of Henry. But again, the Bowser Jr., David, really actually probably some of the cleanest play that you're going to see today. Any sort of action, any sort of small hit that we ended up getting from David was chained into something else, or at least at the lower percents. That sort of conversion is something that is very, like, it is very, very, very important in Super Smash Brothers, because again, those solo hits, yes, Bowser Jr. can whack a little bit, but so can Banjo and Kazooie. You need to take advantage of the fact that you're just a little guy and you got a couple of little hits. Combine those little hits, you know, a million paper cuts, you know, it works out.
I'm just still stuck on that one combo that Henry tried. Center stage, gets the grounded, gets the down throw, goes for the up smash, but whiffs it by like 2 frames. And you're just like, if that connects, it's 1-to-1.
Right.
And there's very much a real possibility that Henry could take it and brought us to the game 3. Fortunately, that was not going to happen. And it's just, I really did like a lot of his defensive options. His Wonder Wing usage was good, but it's just the amount of power and control that we saw coming out from David on this Bowser Jr., which is too undeniable. That will result in the first game of this set going that way of FPC.
Sir, yes, sir.
We got to gear up for the next one.
Yes, sir. We have Flangler-Palm Coast again, still remaining with Albert alongside Fletcher. And you still have, who is it here? Dante and Thurston looking to step up to the plate. Again, it's just tough here because you look at the fact that Dante alongside Thurston, these are pretty different picks from what we've seen before, but we also haven't really talked about, we should be talking about this player right now. And this is sort of the reason why that I was really confident that Flagler was going to be able to take this series. It's the top to bottom form that this entire roster has been on. Yes, we've seen a great run from Crimson Carried. We've seen a great run from Dupont Manual. But in all reality, it's been a little bit more back and forth. When we look over towards just the statistics from the games that we've seen from the entire team from Flagler, listen, 71% win rate on Inkling under Albert, 100% win rate under Byleth, also for Albert. And when it comes to Fletcher, he only plays one character, and he has exactly the same win rate as Dante on the other team, who has the highest win rate on his main. And that's not even talking about David. That's not even talking about the fact that we still have another player on this team with 100% win record. So again, FPC, they have some true heavy hitters, and it's just tough for me to even point out who should be stepping up next to this roster, because they're going to need everything coming up in these next 2 games to at least maybe make this entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, look, FPC really got to go crazy, and John, you gotta whip that squad into shape. Crack that whip. Let's go. It's playoffs. It's finals. Crack that squad. Playoffs long, all season long, to get to this moment. Sometimes the nerves can influence you. You know, sometimes you can be like, I'm always a top form player, but there are these situations where you need to perform the most and can be a little bit shaky. And this can be one of those moments, and it does look like we do have Fletcher and Dante coming in. So we're going to see the battle of the one mains. We're going to see the Sora versus Luigi.
Okay.
And I said it. Luigi just is one of the scariest members to ever grace the field of Smash Brothers in a 1v1 in this situation.
Right, but yeah, it's just the fact that Luigi, they do prefer some more grounded play. And we're looking at a lot more floatier of a character in the form of Sora. A deceptively floaty. What's up?
I want to say Sora is like the floatiest character in Smash.
Yeah, I was about to say unexpectedly floaty, but yes, literally the floatiest character in this game. And in terms of the aerial play for Luigi, it isn't exactly like they can certainly control them. You know, you still have the fireball, you still have the plunger, and it's still not exactly something that you're really going to get instant gratification from. It's going to have to be a lot of that same mentality that I was talking about earlier. You're trying to get those million paper cuts in little by little by little, chipping down that Sora. And when you're dealing in the midair, Sora should be beating you in that case. So it's going to be a big kind of challenge here. How is Dante going to play up kind of the stage selection going forward to potentially try to keep Fletcher grounded?
Well, I say that, right? But like, yes, Sora's the floatiest character. Yes, he does have a lot of aerial superiority. But the thing is, all it takes is one up B from Luigi. Just one. And you know exactly the scenario that I'm talking about. Any single time. We're getting into it. It's game number 2. Okay, Dupont manual. Flangler-Palm up 1 right now. Let's see how it goes.
Are we in button check? No. I mean, we'll see if they're in button check or not. We'll see. We'll see. Let's give it a second. Let's give it a second.
Yeah. Survey says. Yeah, I think it's a button check.
Perhaps. Perhaps. Perhaps.
Yeah, they're not even.
Yeah, okay, yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
All right. Keep hyping it up a little bit because again, these are the last 2 players remaining for these rosters that are true mains. So again, surely this Sora has faced players like Dante that are going to try to keep things grounded a little bit, and that wasn't even the stage that we were going to. We're going to small battlefield coming up for this game. And actually no, Crow, do you think that small battlefield is going to try to help out that mentality that I was talking about there for Dante?
I think it's really going to be... It's going to be scary because, like, Dante being able, like, on small battlefield to get in closer is going to be one of the biggest keys. Like, yes, Sora will be able to spam Firaga, Blizzaga all the time. Thundaga is going to be great for coverage, you know, the 3 little hits of the lightning bolt. But
yes,
as soon as Dante... when I get my hands on you, Ricky, like, it's literally just... It's going to be disgusting because he can output so much damage so fast, but it really does come to, like, you know, how well does the Sora know the matchup? Like, how well will Fletcher be? How well will he be gaming on this Sora? You know. So, but small battlefield definitely influences the matchup.
Yeah, no, it does kind of force Fletcher to be a little bit more on his feet. He will not have that space to kind of reset himself, even think for a little bit and just be like, oh wait, I shouldn't be in this guy's face right now. I should be forcing him more to come towards me, force that Luigi to throw out one of those slower aerial options just so you would be able to punish. But, ladies and gentlemen, we officially have our game. You can see the small battlefield. You can see the wax a little bit, and okay, we already started seeing it cooking just a little bit, maybe a little bit too high of a percent to see it going, but we see the potential in the upbeat for Luigi. But will that even be it? Luigi still doing a great job right now of managing this Sora. However, Sora, with that Keyblade, does more than enough. Just a couple chip hits already leaves this first stock pretty easy.
Yep. And, okay, that's the cover that I was talking about. You know, he has to be able to stack spells in order to push away Dante. Fletcher has already it's a very high damage stack for both, right? So, like, the amount of, like, sheer will it kill hits from Luigi are really higher, I would say, unless he doesn't get scooped into the All right, yep, I think Fletcher's okay with his matchup, Upmind.
Oh yeah, I think he's just fine for now. Again, it is just Dante. He needs to push the situation right now. I'm not exactly too worried about Fletcher. I mean, if anything, if Fletcher just plays like a more traditional Sora, he should be able to take this one on paper. But again, this is Dante that we are looking at. Dante has been the standout performer for Crimson Carried, has been the player for Dupont Manual. Again, this man has an 86% win rate. That is among the highest in this entire tournament. But again, only on Luigi. You can only do so much in this sort of counter battle, but that should have been it. That should have been a quick punish coming out from Fletcher, but didn't get too much out of it. But no.
He's done. Yep. Oh man, yeah. Fletcher's doing such a great job of pushing him out and keeping him out. It's the Luigi missile misfire. I mean, it's just he has to be able to get creative and Okay, I was gonna make an off the top of the dome joke there, but he just automatically just up smash. All right, let's do it. So now it's down 1-2 here.
Here we go.
I
Here
mean,
we go.
definitely. Oh no! Oh, he started it. He started it. Yeah. Oh no! It was so close to being the perfect scenario. Oh man, but he could easily recoup this though.
No, he just doesn't get the sweet spot. But this is a lot more plausible than what we just saw. And what on earth was that mash?
Grab! Hello? Mash into the grab? Let's go.
That option was crazy. You can already tell what buttons this man uses whenever he mashes.
Yep, we know what the route is. Oh man, it's just the amount of keep away that Fletcher's been doing has been working so well. And that was going to be the big thing that keeps him in this game. How well can he keep Dante from starting anything up? And he's doing such a great job with it, with the Fire Gun stack, with the Thunder Gun stack, and catching him out, not allowing Luigi to play these wacky games. He's going to get frozen again, mashing out, survives for a moment longer, but he's at 149. This is very scary territory. Yep. It's bad waters for him to be in, and Fletcher will grab that one.
Listen, I mentioned Dante having an 86% win rate, but we are looking at Fletcher with the exact same percentage, 86 versus 86, and Fletcher is just going to continue that streak for now. Again, we still have that second game coming up. This is a quick best-of-3 between these two players, but just from your cautionary look, what can Dante possibly do to kind of get Fletcher a little bit more within that play style that he wants?
He's going to have to be a little bit more creative with his... Hello, cat. With his
my camera.
plunger loops.
Yeah.
And like utilizing the fireball, because like the thing is, Luigi plunger stops a lot of projectiles, and it does in fact stop Sora, Firaga, and Blizzaga, I believe. But it's a matter of being able to react to that as well as he can. As carbonation, wow.
Wow,
it's just being able to react to the speed at which Fletcher's been throwing out these spells, because that is the biggest advantage that he had over him in game number 1. And as soon as he was unable to deal with the spells, you saw the up airs and the forward airs come out. The amount of aerial loops that we saw Fletcher being able to do, which we knew was going to happen. We knew it. It was like, oh yeah, that's Sora game plan, you know, spam spells, aerial superiority. But the closeness of the stage definitely was influencing a factor from Dante. And like that one combo hit the sour spot, unfortunately. No up B. I said, hey, all it takes is a 1, and it was right there. It was so close to happening. So that's something that Fletcher obviously knows, keeps in the back of his mind, does not want to happen again, because that's the difference between a full sweep and a game number 3.
As we head into game number 2, it is going to be, very simply put, back to PS2, back to normal. Oh, okay.
It gets scary. As soon as you see the Luigi down there, you just automatically get scared.
always, every single time, because that's their bread and butter. This is what these guys work on every single day as Luigi players. They know the one combo, they know the press. I mean, it's not a free win. You still got to execute it, which is why they practice it so much. But my goodness, once you see it, you just see the stars align. But again, we're still looking at Fletcher. Fletcher in the lead right now, just by about 40%, and is playing this perfectly right now, forcing the Luigi to come towards him. The Luigi not able to actually pull out any sort of good projectiles at the moment to at least potentially force Fletcher. Fletcher, again, is more than fine with playing this matchup the way that he's playing it right now.
Yep, very much just in the driver's seat, forcing Dante to be on defensive, but he gets caught in the edge of the Luigi tornado. Not able to start anything off after it. Okay, that's for attack there.
Yep.
Drop kick not going to be there. Good shield. Ah, there's the dash attack. Okay, I was wondering who's going to try and rip that out. Plunger in. 1, 2. Oh, man. See, that's that Luigi edge guard I keep talking about. Just drop plungers. It's going to hit every time.
Yeah, real tough way. Real tough way to do that edge guard, but I think he's fine. He got 2 pretty good missiles out of it. And now knocking away Sora to 113 for now. Fletcher still up against the ropes. He's at 113. Dante. Oh! Dante almost found it. You saw that iron dome coming out real quick. The forehead of Luigi almost coming in strong. Man. But now this is Fletcher's opportunity for some extra credit.
Yep. It was. I thought the stock went to Dante there, but no, Fletcher, he can get out with the scoop. So now he needs to get all the damage he can. before falling off of this first stock, but it's really forcing Dante to have to, play a little bit differently. Okay, Luigi with Tornado, massive damage. Where does he fall, though? Very good stop into the spell, preventing him from progressing any further here. This is getting very scary because the damage keeps climbing for Dante.
It's just so tough, though. You saw how close Dante was to taking away
He's
that
done.
first stock, but no! That Thundaga, it covers so much space, and you see just the wall, the absolute curtain that gets put up by it. And just like that, Dante is done. Yes, Dante does come in, pulls out a tornado, and is able to take away that first stock. But where was that get out of jail free option for that entire second stock? Oh, goodness.
Oh, man. It's so difficult because, like, you can see the plan stewing and brewing as there's a but no! The platform's going to save his life. The rollout. Oh, no. Dante has to get it together. Fletcher really, really close here. Pulling out another 2-0 in this best of 5. Gonna put it on series point, on championship point here. All he has to do is stick to his game plan that has been working up against this Luigi. Oh my God, he did it! Gus, he did it!
He tripped him and he whacked him. There you go. We're back on track. It is Dante now, up against the ropes, on the verge of leading his team only one game away from losing out on grand finals.
Oh, there's a grab! Oh, there's a grab! Oh, he rolls out of it. He techs it. Oh, man. It's scary. It's so scary right now. You can tell they're playing differently. Fletcher can't panic. He has to regain his composure. Gonna block him out here. Ooh. Oh, he gets stuck. No, he bashes out of it.
Good follow-up in terms of the damage, but 121 right now. So many moves here from Sora. Will be able to do it. Fletcher needs to get back. Rises with the freeze. What a
oh, no, the Ron B!
No.
Oh,
Dante,
my goodness.
He fought so hard to push that to the edge, but instead, Fletcher finds it in the end. But what a disastrous way to end it. Oh, me too. Hold on.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I almost choked you out here, man. But what? That was such a clutch up from Fletcher. Like, if we get that part in the replay for after this match, it's just the fact that he got the freeze. He didn't immediately act. He got the Blizzaga. He didn't immediately try to go for anything because of Dante's history of mashing out of the freeze into either a grab or a plunger. This case, he was mashing out into an up B. All he had to do was step back, clear some space, and go right back in to secure the victory. And that's exactly what he did. So that was a great read, a great predict from Fletcher. Oh my goodness, man. My heart rate needs to chill just a little bit as we look at this replay.
Yeah, we have a reprieve here in terms of the replay, folks, because my goodness. Flagler, yes, you made it to that 2-0 start. You made it now to an extreme cushion here, but my goodness, they were finally pushed to the edge. We were waiting so desperately to finally see a close game between these two teams. And again, it was exactly what you mentioned. It was just one punch, one opportunity, one uppercut from the Luigi to really make things plausible, and you guys are going to see it here from the replay. And what a beautiful ground. But again, coming down to the end, Fletcher keeps Flangler-Palm up 2-0, and one more best of 3 potentially to go for Flagler to take down the PlayVS Cup.
It's insane. It's actually insane. Like, my heart's still coming down from that perfect ending. But yeah, you're right. They are up 2-0 currently in this best of 5. It's all up to Thurston.
Yeah, Thurston.
To bring this back. It's all up to him to strap on that backpack. Hey, he's a banjo player too, so I mean,
yeah,
gotta get that backpack on.
And his banjo's perfect. His banjo has been utilized as a pocket so fairly rarely throughout this tournament, but he still does have a 100% win rate on that banjo and could pull it out in the middle of the best of 3. Doesn't need to pull it out immediately at the beginning. He can still test the water with the Game & Watch and then pull out the Banjo and Kazooie. However, I don't exactly feel as if that should be the case. Albert here coming up, folks. This is another mixed bag of tricks. Here for Flagler, they have Albert representing them with Inkling and Byleth. Their Inkling has a 71% win record, playing the large majority of their games. And they revealed slightly a Byleth pick. They only played it once. They won the one game that they played with that Byleth. But that is already enough for y'all to kind of realize that the danger is there for Albert. Thurston, still, same thing. We are looking at two players with a pretty solid pocket.
Yeah, and I mean, as someone who loves him some Inkling, it's going to be very fun to see. I mean, versus I definitely have a better time in the Banjo matchup than the Game & Watch matchup, just because of like how many ways Game & Watch can counter. So like that is, you know, something to keep in mind. But the Byleth,
right,
the tool for every occasion, you know, just like heavy hitter, great distancing. Oh yeah, you know, I have one of the best forward airs in the game. It's whatever. I mean, just neutral air, spin the bow. It's cool. Whatever. We're good. So this is really going to be a huge test for Thurston to be able to get back into this. We've been hyping up the Game & Watch all day. We have. I mean, it's very much that character that's like you either love him, or you absolutely despise him. And this is a situation where, look, if you're Crimson Carried, if you're this Dupont Manual High School squad, you love you some Game & Watch right now.
Absolutely, you have to. But again, in this situation, we're looking at the fact that the Game & Watch, it might but it still should be pretty difficult to even get in to kind of get that Inkling kind of just under kind of your control in neutral, because a little easier put, Inkling is a faster character than Game & Watch, is a slicker character in the air than Game & Watch. It's not that Game & Watch doesn't have the options to kind of pull people out of the air. Don't get me wrong, that nair, that up air alone is already beautiful options to kind of keep people stacked, to kind of get people controlled. But we're still looking at the fact that this is yet another little bit of a matchup disparity between these two teams. Nothing has gone in the odds of Crimson Carried, in the odds of Dupont Manual, but that is just going to make the ultimate win for them so much sweeter if they can start the reverse sweep right here.
They have to start it right here, right now. And I know that's a big ask of you, Thurston, young man. It's very difficult to get it done, but it all starts with you, and it all starts here. I do know they are doing a button check. They're gonna get the techies in, make sure their hands are warmed up, ready to go.
Right.
It's either the last gasp for this Manual lineup, or it is the final nail in the coffin being dished out by FPC Esports. Gus, my boy.
Hi.
How are we thinking? How are we thinking this is gonna end? Is this start the reverse sweep, or is this just it? I know you were an FPC guy. I know you're like Flangler-Palm Coast all the way. But is there the chance that they blunder right here?
That's the thing. We've looked at what have been pretty much the biggest assets for Dupont in the last two games. Those are the two players that have really driven this team throughout this playoff run. It's not like Thurston isn't a force in his own, because he absolutely does have that potential throughout his lineup. Again, that 100% win record on the Banjo-Kazooie is something to look out for. But just what we've seen so far from Flagler, this is a complete lineup. This is the type of team that you could absolutely see on a national stage, on potentially an international stage, in crew battles, doing relatively well. They have a decent lineup in terms of that character pool. It's just that, again, when we're looking over to Dupont, they don't have as complete of that roster. I mean, if anything, they have two players who play the exact same character, so not a lot of unpredictability. That is an easier preparation state for our players over at FPS or FFPC. But this all has to come down to the preparation. You gotta come down to the preparation. Of Dupont, Jordan Woosley, because for both of these teams, you can already kind of tell that they had some pretty good ideas of where they were going to go in terms of staging, where they were going to go in terms of their character picks. They're just going with their strengths. All of these players, they have pockets, and all of them are going for their strengths right now, not trying to do anything crazy in terms of the counter picking, just focusing on the gameplay. So the support staff has given these players the tools to succeed. Again, it is all just about executing from here on out. And just in terms of this matchup coming up alone, I gotta admit something. This might put a red herring on my back. I play Game & Watch, okay? I have a pocket Game & Watch, all right? Listen. Hey, it's a character in the game for a reason. And listen, I'm a disciple of Meister, okay? And I also put a red herring on my back, but still I digress. Game & Watch in itself is a character that is relatively easy for you to pick up in Super Smash Brothers. That's if you have the mastery of the game itself. I'm not calling myself master by any means, but I at least had good basic knowledge of the game. Game & Watch, when it comes to just raw scenarios in just situations that you're not that comfortable, you can actually still do a couple of easy moves just for you to kind of turn the tide in any game. You have great smash attacks. You have a great down smash that is relatively like a guaranteed kill, just at about 40 to 50%, right? And same thing with an up smash being incredibly strong. A wide-ranging nair in the hands of the Game & Watch 2. Ladies and gentlemen, I am praising this potential Game & Watch coming out very soon for good reason. We need to see Dupont step up with Thurston on the Game & Watch if they want their chance here at the PlayVS Cup. And once again, we just go through the button check once again. We are going to get into the game in just a little bit, but listen, I just have to ask, in terms of that prediction that you dropped a little bit earlier, any changes?
I'm still very much confident that Thurston can bring us to a Game 4. I mean, like, you're the Game & Watch player, I'm the Inkling player. I despise playing against Game & Watch on this character because it's just
right.
He just hits so hard, and like,
yeah, he's such a little guy.
I'm just trying to stack up combo. I'm trying to stack up as much, like, you know, ink as possible. Get the side B in, dash attack, you know, scoot,
and then you get down throw,
and then down throw, up air, down throw, up air. It's like, why is he put on a brick? Like, it's just. It's so annoying, and like the amount of like actual ridiculousness, like the bucket can catch both my grenade and my regular, you know, standard B fire. So you're just like, all right, I guess. Then I have to bring it close quarters. I have to be able to, you know, hit you with a dash tag and into an up tilt. You know, I have to be able to like actually get these starter combos off and not rely solely on just like stacking up the ink and making you fly farther. What do you mean I actually have to play the game fairly? This is ridiculous. Like, I don't want to do this. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they can go. But the speed of the Inkling can possibly discombobulate Thurston here, and that's something we do have to watch. So Albert, if he can get swifty on him, if he can have that, you know, high speed maneuver, like, there's a high chance he can just run away with this.
Yeah, and at least the good part about roller, it is very hard for you to actually execute a good down smash onto someone coming in on a roller. And Game & Watch simply doesn't have that many options. That is very far ranging from just a grounded kind of F-tilt perspective. But ladies and gentlemen, this could be it for the East region here for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Play in the High School National Championships, brought to you by the PlayVS Cup. As, again, Dupont, they already start off with a little bit of a slacking start. However, it is Game & Watch that we're looking at. Just a couple of these little chip hits will lead into a whole lot of damage.
Yup, and when you see him, he's getting caught, right? Like, a lot of it has to be dash attacks out of hop to be able to get things, but you can see him getting stopped multiple times over and over again. And then, oh wow, that actually would have been a stock had that connected. Albert doing a good job right now, staying alive, keeping that distance. You have to be able to. They could get a little bit of a splat, but if they get caught here, Thurston looking to get it some more damage off, sitting at a high 117 himself though.
Oh, and that back here, never mind that being a actually pretty great approach option. Never mind the fact, of course, we see the back air strings off stage. Just like I mentioned, is he going to drop and try to go for it? He just spreads the fan.
What?
But my goodness, that down smash from Inkling does last a whole while. And the ink actually keeps away Game & Watch from getting Now we see a little bit of desperation from Thurston, and I love this pace from Thurston. Thurston is not allowing Dupont to breathe.
Yeah, he has to bring the fight to Albert. He has to, you know, not let the speed get him wary. The upbeat, not going to KO, actually. Oh, no, he went for the key. Not going to happen.
No, he's good.
Allowed to get back on stage for a moment.
Listen, Game & Watch, man, I'm not scared whatsoever. Key at ledge, that upbeat is way too
full charge.
But speaking of strong, my goodness, you have two characters here who can ground and who can absolutely sweep away. If, of course, you get that approach in the grounded state, Game & Watch doesn't get grounded there, but it's already done. Scoop up smash, and just like that, again, things are not done just yet here in the sets, but in terms of this first game here of this third BO3, this just might be done here for Thurston. Thurston, he might need something electric here to make it work for Dupont.
It's the fact that he has not been able to take this first stock of Albert's is actually insane right now. So then you go 184 on the Inkling. You would have thought
there you go
by now, and finally we'll finish it off. But you're at 40% on your final stock and potentially the final game for your school. This is insane right now. And I said all Albert really has to do is consistently be able to stack the paint, get the hits in, dash out. And he's been bringing the fight to this Game & Watch all match long, and Thurston has just not been able to, you know, secure these KOs, get these stocks. Like, it's been a lot of, like, stacking hits, but no just pure on confirms.
But Game & Watch, considering how floaty he can be, and considering the quick options that he has in terms of the aerials, he can be relatively slick. And oh, what a catch! No. And we are on the road to redemption here for Dupont. Albert on the edge of his seat now. Thurston now at 100%, has a whole stock to deal with. But again, this was one stock to 3 here from Thurston. Thurston might just pull off the reverse 3 stock, but just needs to execute. There goes the meat. There goes the chef. There goes the jabs. There you go. It's only just the chip hits. This is what Game & Watch is known for.
Oh, he has to predict all the landings that Albert might have.
Goodness.
Oh man, this is so scary. 143 to 59. He cannot afford a single slip up here. Up B, gonna do some more damage. Ooh, looks to bring down Judgment. Not quite there. Getting some more paint stacked. Trying to land a roller.
Beautiful.
Shield predict up air.
The damage is just. Oh, what?
No way.
No, no, no.
What a slip.
The Game & Watch gets absolutely yeeted into the abyss. And oh my goodness, who would have thunk it? The back throw from basically the middle of the stage does it. But you could tell that wasn't supposed to kill. Yes, it was strong, but Thurston, he wasn't able to react to that. I don't know who would be able to react to that. Who expects the back throw there?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking that was like a bad DI because he just flew.
I don't think he expected it. Yeah.
I don't think he did, and that was just like I didn't even think that was gonna be the option. You know, I thought he was gonna grab up throw. You know, maybe try hit grenade. You know, I'm like, oh no, he just pure back throw. I'm like, okay, wow.
Yeah, no, you're gone. Out of here.
Literally out of here.
I was about to throw the Togepi. Out of here.
Don't throw the Togepi.
No, I get. No, absolutely not.
Okay. Resetting here. We have to reset mentally for us, but also for Thurston. Now you are on tournament point here. You cannot lose these next 2 games. This is literally do or die for Thurston, for the rest of DuPont Manual.
Yep.
For them Kentucky winners, the KHSAA champions, getting all the way here to the finals and PlayVS Cup. It all comes down to this, man.
It really does, but again, the fact that they even made it here to this point is an incredible story. They already are state champions. This is, yes, it's not exactly the result that they would have wanted coming out of grand finals, but gotta give them a lot of credit coming out of this one. However, again, we are not done. One more stage to go potentially here for these 2 teams, but considering the amount of fight that we saw from Thurston after he dropped those first 2 stocks, again, I don't think we're going to go quietly into that good night. We're not going to go quietly into that West series that we have coming up after the East has concluded. But Yeah, Thurston, he wants to cap this off with at least an electrifying reverse 2-0, excuse me. Because if he does do that, I mean, gosh knows how much momentum that's going to give to the rest of his team. Again, considering what we just watched, we do have a pocket, a perfect pocket in the hands of Thurston. Do you think that happens though?
I want to believe. I have to, you know, I have to stick to my predictions all the way through. I'm a man of conviction. If anything, we got to pull all the way through for the homies. And like, you saw how close Thurston was able to bring it, right? That was after the adaptations were being made. That was after the P got wind of a lot of the predictions that we saw Albert throwing out, right? It's just that back throw was so just
unexpected,
random, just out of nowhere. Just like, all right, cool. Let me just let's get out. But
yeah,
he brought it from a 2-stock deficit down to a 2 interaction situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if he can do that just sooner, hey, we could be looking like a game 4, you know? Like if he could be like, all right, let me hit him again without losing 2 stocks. Just hit him. Just hit him.
For my expert analysis, just hit him earlier. Why are you waiting? Why are you waiting the whole game to hit him? Why don't you just hit him now?
Oh, this is gonna be so interesting. We're on a small battlefield now.
Yeah, and I don't exactly know if that's really the play. You did see Thurston though. In terms of his pace, after the first stock it went by, he really wasn't allowing Albert to breathe. It's just that, yeah, I guess that we have the smaller stage. We could still see that effect from Thurston. Not a lot of space for Albert to be able to run, but also Inkling just has so many quick options in terms of berries, in terms of just high damage options on stage that you're just going to have a lot less time to react to. Again, here is an important roller coming out. I thought it was going to potentially fall right onto the Game & Watch as he got onto the stage. But again, a good nair coming out. It stops things here. We are even at this point. Yeah, oh, never mind.
Falling into the up smash. That was actually a really good call out. I really did like that. Albert is definitely seasoned on this Inkling, doing a lot of just like very confident plays, going in for jabs and going in for, you know, dash attacks and forward tilts, but
no way.
Stage, no, wow, actually will survive, and the jet will be perfectly landed. No threat of a down air to try and get a spike. None of that business. Up air to connect. 128. Now we do know Albert has a reputation for living at really high percents on this Inkling. I believe it's like 150 before he fell in the first stock in the last game. And that is something he was able to take to his advantage.
Yeah, Albert was able to take a second stock, you know, with the amount of time that he had on that first stock. So my goodness gracious. Again, this is everything here already for Thurston. Thurston does not want to be in that same situation that we saw him in that first game, down by 2 stocks, needing to make that big comeback. You need to be closer to the edge, though, for that back air to be able to kill like that. But, okay, a rare little dash attack kill, but we will take it as Dupont still resting all of their hopes here in the PlayVS Cup on this last game, potentially, of Thurston. Thurston maintaining his space right now, almost begging Albert to interact with him. But still, what is going to be the setup? What are we going to get here from the hands of Thurston whenever that first interaction comes in?
It's really just a lot of Albert's, you know, normals that reach a little bit farther with the paint shots, being able to, you know, go past any of the offense that Thurston has been throwing out. And Albert is doing a really good job keeping him guessing, keeping on his toes, because he knows all it takes is one dash. Go ahead, charge up the paintbrush, knock him down, and now Thurston is on his final stock, the final life, potentially, for Dupont manual here. He has to tie this up and then exceed to push it to game 4. His championship point, or the championship, rather, in general, is in the sight of Albert from Flangler-Palm.
Are we going to see an electric finish here from Flagler? Again, Flagler has gone almost perfect so far in this tournament. All of their players have above an 80% win rate on the year. But my goodness, will they at least cap it off with a perfect finish in the finals? Will we see them back for dominance next year? But again, Dupont, They still have that Iron Game & Watch looking to hit. And again, Game & Watch is all about those chip hits. It's going to take a while here for us to see this Game & Watch come into effect. But there you go, maintaining the space. No jump here for the Inkling, but they're back now. Chair comes out, dash attack comes in just to try to close the space. And there we go, back to 1 stock.
This is so scary. It's back to 1 stock.
Oh!
68%. This is so doable for Oh my god, are you serious? He got the 9, but the 9 was not in the chamber. Oh man, Albert's living for a little bit longer, doing the biggest sigh of relief for his squad. Oh, he's still in this fight.
Unbelievable. And that is just a theme here for Dupont. So close, but potentially so far. They need to break the script. They need to break that plot armor here that Flangler-Palm has had throughout these playoffs. But instead, the Inkling looking for it. There goes the back throw, looking for the back air. Not able to catch it. Good up air, but not going to do much. No!
Oh, no! Not like this!
Unbelievably disappointing finish for Dupont. But for Flangler-Palm Coast High School, they triumph in victory in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate East National High School Championship.
What a way to end it. Oh my goodness.
I have no words. I have no words. It's
plot armor's too strong. Literally, the fates were not defined. It was that close. But in the end, FPC Esports Flangler-Palm Coast High School take it a 3-0 in the series.
3-0, and that just proves who indeed is the king of the East. Again, give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Flangler-Palm Coast High School, bringing out the big guns from Florida. Again, dominating the Eastern Conference here as, again, all 3 players were able to sweep away their games. There was no game 3. There was no drama. Barely any of the games went to that last stock, went to that last hit scenario. And you see that at the very end. You couldn't get kind of the escape out of the parachute. You have to dip down from parachute to then be able to air dodge. That is one of the more finicky little mechanics there for Game & Watch. And unfortunately, that ends up becoming what is the downfall for Dupont at the end. But again, you can't just put it on Fletcher. Fletcher did so much there to push things over the edge. Again, realistically speaking, no one from Dupont was able to kind of break through the impenetrable Flagler.
Yeah, look, I swear I need to talk to this Flagler squad, because did they have the scripts? Like, did they know everything that was going to happen? It's just... It was sheer domination in game number 1. Game number 2 was literally, for lack of a better term, it was a slobber knocker. Like, they were fighting tooth and nail.
Oh, yeah.
Blood and claw, everything, just leaving it all out there. But this last game had 1 or 2 things
we were so close.
Differently. It was so close. Thurston played their heart out. Absolute congrats to them. And the rest of Manuel and the rest of Dupont, Crimson carried all the way to the finals. Unfortunately, couldn't carry you past 2nd place, but that is a really respectable end to y'all season after the incredible season that they did have. But once again, congratulations to FPC Esports. And man, that was just the East Conference. We still got another one for you guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll talk about the West in just a little bit, folks. But it does look like we are going to be ready in a little bit to throw things back to our beautiful, handsome, and potentially tall. They bring off tall energy. I'll tell you that much at the very minimum.
I can see that.
Tall and handsome hosts back over in Charlotte, sending it back over to the studio.
A one-sided series, a sweep.
Oh,
so I mean, there were close moments. There were close moments.
The Sora versus the Luigi, and then at the end, I saw that 9 come out on the Game & Watch.
And you're thinking, oh, are they going to connect?
And then the SD to end it like that. The pressure. Oh,
but it's up to that. Even though it wasn't SD, I mean, you could tell that the Game & Watch was playing their heart out. They were just a stock down.
Yeah.
Got the stock off Inkling and then was fighting back and was so close. If that, you know, you do wonder what would happen if they made it back to the map. But
And I gotta say, you know, shout out to Upmind and VIEWTIFULCROW. Absolutely entertaining commentary. It is Smash commentary, some of my favorite for sure, and they definitely elevated that series. Excellent job from them.
well, we have crowned the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate East champion. We have the West still to go, and that's going to